It's said of baseball that it's a kids' game, so it's appropriate. Every Sunday at Target Field is Kids Day. And kids and adults alike hoping the Twins can win their first 3-game series of the year.
Hey, I'm a kid.
And Hart, you certainly are.
Yes.
And he's the Hall of Famer Burt Blyleven, and I'm Dick Bramer. Final game of the series between the Twins and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And the Twins are in position to win that first 3-game series because finally Danny Valencia got a big hit last night.
Well, a great pitching matchup in yesterday's ball game. It went into extra innings, and for the second time this year, Danny Valencia got the game-winning RBI. That against the Kansas City Royals back in April. And then in last night's ball game with 1 out and bases loaded, Danny Valencia hitting a fly ball over the head of Torrey Hunter, and the Twins win a 1-0 ball game.
Which suggests that the starting pitchers, even though they weren't around for the decision, did a really good job yesterday, and we might have that exact same situation here this afternoon.
Yeah, two guys going at it this afternoon, two very good pitchers. For the Twins, it'll be Carl Pavano. In his last start, I thought the last 3 innings were maybe the best he's thrown in a while. Hopefully he can carry that into the Angel ball game this afternoon, where he's making his 9th career start against the Angels. He's had some success. And for the Angels, it'll be Dan Haren. Don't let the record fool you right there, 4-3. This guy has been consistent. Look at the nasty splitter right there. No, he's 2-3 against the Twins, but this guy has not missed a start in 214 straight starts. Very
Minnesota Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to Northland Ford.
Is coming in his delivery, can't alter the pitch in any way, and then all the hitter has to do is get the ball down. Matt Tolbert does a great job on a tough pitch, and we see Alexa Casilla just walking in. But also it makes it hard on the bunter, because normally in a sacrifice, the bunter can score around early, but you have to wait as a hitter also, so you don't give it away, or else he'll buzz you and you won't be able to get the bat on the ball. So it has to be precise, and they were perfect.
Explain the difference between a safety squeeze and a suicide squeeze.
Well, a suicide squeeze, we just saw. The runner's coming, and it's do or don't. You've got to get the ball down or the runner's out. On a safety squeeze, the bunter is bunting for a base hit, and if the guy on third doesn't go until he's sure he can make it home, it's a great bunt, and he can make it home.
Carl Pavano looks for career win number 100. He toes the rubber. Dick Bremer, Bert Blyleven will take you through first pitch right after this.
At its heart and soul, baseball is really a kid's game. The homestand, and the Twins haven't won a 3-game series. They haven't played well at home, and at some point, if they're going to get back into the race, they need to start doing that. Here's our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise and remove your caps. Across the country, fans like you are celebrating Memorial Day weekend in a way they feel is synonymous with America, attending a baseball game. In honor of the upcoming Memorial Day and the National Moment of Remembrance, we ask you to please join the Twins and Angels organizations in observing a moment of silence to honor our servicemen and women and to commemorate and remember those who have fought for our freedom and sacrificed for our country. In honor of all military service members, past, present, and future in Twins territory, the Twins are proud to invite a soldier or veteran to raise the stars and stripes during the national anthem at every Twins home game. Today's honorary flag raiser is Master Sergeant Rich Krevenek from Hugo. Rich is a C-130 cargo loadmaster with over 7,400 flight hours during his 24 years of service, 11 years active duty in the U.S. Air Force, and 13 years and counting as a member of the Minnesota National Guard. He's earned numerous medals for missions flown over Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation Enduring Freedom. Thank you, Master Sergeant Krivonek, for serving our country. Now we will honor America with the singing of the national anthem as Minnesota DNR State Parks and Trails staff members Christelle Peters and Steve Kirk lead us in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Fitting on this Memorial Day, we'd have the national anthem for you. Every Sunday is Kids Day, which makes every day a special day here at Target Field. At its heart and soul, baseball is really a kid's game. For professionals, it may not be child's play, but that's how they started, as youngsters on the playground, relishing the passion and the joy of a summer day on the diamond. Some grow up to wear a major league uniform, but for all who play it, the game has a way of grabbing you early and not letting go. It's fostered, cherished, and passed on from one generation to the next. Because baseball is a kid's game for kids of all ages. Join us now for Kids Day at the ballpark on Fox Sports North. And happy Kids Day for the final time this year here. The Angels will play the Twins, their only trip to Minnesota. And the Twins hope to win a series. They won a couple of series against the Angels last year when the Angels kind of went through what the Twins are going through this year. A lot of injuries and some things that just didn't go right. Here's Mike Scioscia's Menards batting order. Peter Bourjos in the leadoff spot. Eric Ibar has been their leadoff hitter most of the year. Bobby Abreu, Torrey Hunter, Alberto Callaspo, Russell Branyan, Mark Trumbo, Alexi Amarista, and Jeff Mathis.
And a scouting report on Carl Pavano, this afternoon starter, making his 11th start. This is his 6th try at win number 100. And he's actually pitched better here at Target Field than on the road this year. In 4 starts, 2-0 with a 2.63 ERA here at home.
1 strike to Bourjos. And pulled foul. Bourjos has had a great impact on this series. Some big hits and defensive plays on Friday night. The only hit the Angels had last night, and what makes it so odd is he was one of the Angels struggling the most coming into the series.
Well, he got a fastball up from Anthony Swarzak in the 8th inning with 1 out and hit it right down that third base line. Danny Valencia was playing in, but the ball hit so sharply, he really had no play. So great job by Anthony Swarzak. See if Carl Pavano can do something like that here this afternoon.
1-2. A little bit low. Borges coming into the series, 5 hits in 56 at bats with 20 strikeouts. I mean, he really seemed confused at the plate, but he's had an impact in the first 2 games of this series. And Pavano misses outside. It's 3-2.
Well, Borges, one of the young guys that Mike Scioscia is kind of relying on. There's 3 or 4 guys in a lineup here this afternoon that they're kind of going through a little bit. Let these young guys play and see how they do. Borges just 24 years old. Came up last year, played in 51 ball games, hit only .204. Actually hit his first major league home run off of Kevin Slowey here in Minnesota back on August 21st of last year.
Off the knuckles, out of play. Still 3-2.
Well, Pavano has made 5 starts in the month of May. He's 0-2 with an ERA at 5.46. 29 2/3 innings, only 6 strikeouts. I think that's the biggest thing we've seen. Not able to get that final strike for a strikeout.
Borges finally retired 1-0. Northland fourth defense for the Minnesota Twins. Delmon Young's in left, and Art Span in center, Michael Cuddyer in right. Valencia, Plouffe, Casilla, Morneau around the infield, and Drew Butera behind the plate. 1 gone, and here's Eric Aybar. Ibar's done a better job this year. He's having a better year than he did last year. And Aybar with a slug bunt, that's up the line, foul, 1 strike. Aybar last year was moved into the leadoff spot, and he never really got things going for the Angels. He's had a much better year this year and has hit leadoff for most of the season for the Angels, but he too not really your prototypical leadoff hitter.
Yeah, Aybar a switch hitter, hitting .336 as a left-handed hitter, and trying to take this ball with him toward, I'm sure, second base instead. Right off the end of the bat, below the bat, and that creates that foul ball.
Pulled foul. Aybar doesn't walk very much.
Watch out, Roy Smalley.
Oh man, I never worry about Roy. Now Kuhn, that's a separate matter, but Roy can handle stuff like that.
Yeah, he got out of the way very well.
2 strikes to Aybar. And that's out of the mid of Butera. Still 2 strikes. All right, now why? You mentioned Pavano hasn't been able to pick up many strikeouts. This Angel lineup has struck out more than anybody in the American League. Why is he having a hard time getting strike 3?
He's not hitting his spots as good as we've seen him in the past. A 17-game winner last year. Pavano worked 221 innings. He's struck out 117, so he's not a guy that's, going to rack up 7, 8, 9 strikeouts, but he will normally in a 7-inning ball game, say for a starter today, he'll pick up 3 or 4 strikeouts. Again, 5 starts in the month of May. He's picked up only 6 strikeouts.
Well, he moved Aybar off the plate, or tried to anyway. 1-2. And then a little change up on the outside corner, flip to left. This is a long run, and Delmon Young makes the catch, out number 2. Last night, Anthony Swarzak hit his spots and nearly made history.
I tell you what, he pitched outstanding. He and Jarrett Weaver matched 0 for 0 for 9 innings. It was unbelievable. Swarzak 8 very good innings, couple walks, 4 strikeouts, and took that no-hitter into the 8th inning.
And what impressed me, and I think you saw a little bit of it there, I was watching the game at home like most of the upper Midwest. By the way, nice job on the national broadcast yesterday.
Thank you, sir.
But his pitches seemed to be in a U pattern. When he was up, he was up and in rather than out over the middle of the plate. And his strikes that he threw seemed to be in almost a U pattern right around the strike zone.
I thought he and Rene Rivera worked very well. When Rivera sat inside, he didn't miss out over the plate. And, here this afternoon, keep an eye on Drew Butera behind the plate as he moves. Outer half of the plate, and that ball outer half of the plate. Pavano, when he's on, he can hit that glove.
That one back into the seats, Young pursuing. And Pavano throwing a lot of strikes. That's his game.
Well, remember Pavano in his last start in Seattle, about the first 3-4 innings, everything, Butera caught him inside, ball would left out over the plate. And then he found something, and all of a sudden, then his control came. He retired the last 8 batters in that ball game. Twins ended up losing that ball game.
1-2. Just off the corner. Well, the baseball doesn't know who's throwing it, you know, and you throw it, and a bad pitch for Kevin Slowey or anybody else is a bad pitch for Carl Pavano. You leave it up and over the plate, it's going to get hit hard. And this one lifted down the left field line. Young chasing it again. 3 outfield flies and a clean 1-2-3 first for Carl Pavano. On a very long and critical road trip with a series win. Here's the Menards batting order for the Twins. Denard Span leading off. Alexi Casilla, Jason Kubel, Justin Morneau, Michael Cuddyer, Delman Young, Danny Valencia, Drew Butera, and Trevor Plouffe.
And on the mound for the Angels, it'll be Dan Haren making his 12th start, his 13th appearance. His last win coming on April 17th, but he's pitched very good baseball. His last 7 starts in without a win, a 2.74 ERA, 0-3. And this guy has been a workhorse for the Angels. He's averaged over 7 innings a start.
1 strike to Span. He'll be followed by Casilla and Kubel. And there is strike 2.
Haren will give you that little bit of hesitation over that pitching rubber, and then he features a lot of different pitches. Very good forkball, a split finger, along with a very good fastball.
Now, as well as he's pitched, he is coming off his worst start of the year against the A's. 5 earned runs, 7 innings, and for the first time as an Angel pitcher, 2 home runs allowed in 1 game. 1-2 to Span. And a foul. A year ago, Haren was still a member of the Diamondbacks. Joe Saunders, the central name, main name, going to Arizona for Haren.
Yeah, you see the ERA at 2.13. That's 5th best in the American League, 4th in innings pitched, and 5th in strikeouts.
1-2. And there's a ball slashed past the third base bag, and Span starts the game with an extra base hit. Now, he nearly spun out rounding first base. He nearly wiped out and might have been held to a single, but he gets a double to start the ball game.
Well, that's that split finger that moves away. Look at that ball move away, and Span just slapping at it the last second and hitting it right down that third baseline. Hyasco playing off the line, the ball going in, and Span right there slipping a little bit, but it's an easy double. So Span leads off the ball game with his 7th double of the year.
Here's Casilla in what might be a bunting situation. Corner infielders are already up. A mighty swing at a pitch up and in, 1 strike.
Well, sometimes Gardy will let him go, one big swing. Now let's see if he bunts right here. Steve Little, not really a sign at third base. Casillas been swinging a good bat so far here on the homestand. 7 hits and 14 at bats. There's the bunt.
Off the plate. They're going to have to hurry to get him out, and Casilla looking back at the first baseman Trumbo as if, hey, give me a little room to step on the bag. Because of the angle, Trumbo was leaning forward into the baseline almost, and I think Casilla made contact with him as he crossed the bag.
Yeah, Trumbo, a big man. This is a great sacrifice bunt. Doing your job, moving that runner over, and to throw a little bit into Casilla. And you see Casilla slapping Trumbo as he goes by. Didn't knock him out, though.
Well, Mike Scioscia coming out maybe to talk about that. I can't imagine why else the manager would come out, nor do I know what an umpire can do about that. Casilla ruled out. If he'd been ruled safe, perhaps some sort of an interference call could have been made, but here's Kubel. And Jason's average is, we'll say, settling in the low 300s now. Let's say that with the notion that he's bottomed out and will be able to stabilize his average for a while.
Got a chance for an RBI right here. It would be his 29th of the year.
1-1.
And hard breaking ball. And I've mentioned Heron, 5th in the American League in strikeouts, 72 strikeouts in 81 innings pitched. So that's what he's thinking right here. Kubel thinking just get the ball deep in the air or just get it past the pitcher.
Taken up and away, 2-1. You look at Weaver yesterday, Heron now, what the Angel pitchers have done, how well they pitch and don't have much to show for it. Fouled off a foot, and you realize the biggest problem for the Angels right now, run production, lack of it. And that's why situations like this now are so important, because
I don't feel sorry for them. They scored more runs than the Twins.
I know, but this guy's been pitching great. He hadn't won in May.
Yeah.
And neither's Weaver for that matter. And so you have a situation like this where the Angels are giving you the first run, and the Twins need to take advantage of it.
Yes, they do. And Kubel is 3 for 9 lifetime against Heron with a home run.
2-2. That's going to be foul. Put the barrel of the bat on it, but hooked it foul. And you're coming off a game where neither starter got any run support. The Twins finally won one with a run in the 10th.
Well, you can see the lack of run support for Dan Heron, the least amount in the American League.
And now Kubel takes. It's 3-2 with Morneau on deck. Heron's ERA, by the way, is down from when he left his last game. There was a rule scoring change in a game a couple of weeks ago that actually took an earned run off his ledger. And somehow Kubel put the barrel of the bat on this one and put it in play. Rain starting to come down here. We're expecting passing showers, which I think we can tolerate as long as they pass.
Well, you see what Heron's been able to do. That pitch inside, then he'll run that screwball type forkball away.
3-2 to Jason Kubel with Span at third. Bounced foul.
Another pitch, middle in.
Youngster protected. 3-2 again. And Kubel wastes another one. Strikeouts have piled up for Kubel as his batting average has trickled down to the low 300s. 43 strikeouts, 192 at bats.
He struck out 3 times in 4 at bats yesterday against Jarrett Weaver.
And Heron will try it again. Laced to right field. He finally left one out over the plate, and Kubel was all over it.
Good at bat for Jason Kubel, picking up his 29th RBI of the year. As Span scores from third base. Yeah, too much of the plate right there. Kubel, good solid swing, lining it in to right field.
And that'll bring up Morneau. And so often you will replay that hit. And that was a nice swing put on by a good hitter. But what set that up was him fighting off all those other pitches. So the better swings by Kubel in that at bat might not have been the one that finally got the base hit.
That's why guys can hit 300 like a Kubel or Rod Carew. Those guys, they foul off nasty pitches. And then finally the pitcher makes a mistake and they don't miss it.
Strike on the outside corner to Morneau. Justin started the game-winning 10th inning rally with a sharp hit. Notable in and of itself, but where it was hit, it was a pitch down and away from him, and he hit it to the opposite field. Now they come inside and get a swinging strike two. Two strikes to Morneau with Kubel at first and the Twins already up a run. We were talking about Kubel and his strikeouts, and they've been more numerous, and we all know Justin has been struggling, but he has only 28 strikeouts in 174 at bats, which I think can suggest at least that he really isn't far off from being the hitter he was a year ago. It's not like he's waving wildly and striking out twice a game. He's making contact. He just hasn't centered as many balls as he would like. And he, like Kubel, fouling a pitch in on him. One and two to Morneau. Hit hard to center. Borges comes in to make the catch. Morneau hit the stuffing out of it right to the center fielder, 2 away. Northland Ford defense. Bobby Abreu in left. Peter Borges in center. Torrey Hunter in right. Ayasco, Ibar, Amarista, Trumbo, and Jeff Mathis behind the plate. So 2 hits and a line out and a sacrifice bunt so far off of Heron. Here's Michael Cuddyer. And strike one to Cuddyer. And as Jason Kubel's batting average has trickled down to the low 300s, Michael's average is creeping up. Two strikes.
Oh, Dan Heron came into the ballgame. Opponents hitting just 197 off of him. That's 6th best in the American League. Right-handers hitting 210, left-handers hitting just 189. Both hits by left-handed hitters in this ballgame so far.
Driven to right. Hunter with the catch. So the Twins get a leadoff double from Span. Some well-hit balls in the inning. And an RBI single from Jason Kubel. It's 1-0. Baseball is brought to you by Pentair. Rain off and on. I think the passing shower has passed. That's easy for me to say. I have a roof over my head. I don't think it's raining anymore, and the Twins have a 1-0 lead. Carl Pavano had a quick 1-2-3 first inning, and now he'll face Torrey Hunter. Hunter among the Angel hitters who has been struggling this year, although he's had a good week or so leading into this series. But the average at 240 and his 6 home runs leading the team, next to Mark Trumbo at 8. Left side and through the hole, a base hit. So Hunter's aboard, leading off the second inning.
Yeah, sometimes the ball just has eyes. Torrey hitting it between Valencia and Plouffe. Valencia reaching to his left, but the ball got by him.
Here's Alberto Callaspo. Angels letting Callaspo play third base again this year. They acquired him from the Royals. And they took a run at Adrian Beltre and Carl Crawford and others, but neither signed with them, and so Callaspo, who's always been a pretty good hitter, getting a chance to play there again.
Yeah, third base spot, you'd like some more power, in that spot. And there, first base, then the corner outfielders, you'd like some more power. But Callaspo, very solid player. Originally signed by the Angels. Didn't come up to the big leagues until he was with the Arizona Diamondbacks back in 2006. And then traded back to the Angels from the Royals last year.
Callaspo, as Pavano threw over to first, looked like he was squaring to bunt. And he swings away. 2 strikes.
Callaspo, a switch hitter, hitting .306 as a left-handed hitter. All 3 of his home runs have come from the left side of the plate. Pavano's kept the ball in the ballpark pretty nicely. 6 home runs allowed in 11 starts.
2 strikes. Changeup floats outside. 1-2. And of course, Hunter can steal an occasional base, and teams have run on Pavano in the past. Lifted down the left field line, and Young has been busy here in the early going, running after it, and in and out of his glove, a foul ball. Went into a slide, and the ball hit him in the glove and then came out.
Great effort by Delmon Young. He was shading Callaspo a little bit, looked like straight away, and then toward right or left center. Comes running in, trying to focus on that ball, slides, and the ball actually hit his glove and bounced out. So a good effort right there by Young.
1-2.
Just looking, Pavano's had only 1 double play turn behind him. And it just tells me he doesn't have that good sinker down, because Pavano, when he's on, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs.
How about a line drive double play?
That's even better.
Two gone in the second inning.
A lot of times as a base runner, you see that ball hit, and then you say, okay, I've got to freeze, and that's what Torrey Hunter did right here. Watch, he's kind of finding the ball. Oh, I have to get back too late.
And I would imagine it's a symptom too, and Twins fans have seen their team do it. You get on the bases, and sometimes you try to do too much. Here's a high fly to center, Span back near the track, and he makes the catch. So a leadoff single by Hunter, but still on 9 pitches. Pavano faces just 3 men in the inning.
inning. I'm Marnie Gellner back at Target Field. And unfortunately, we've said this too many times before, but the Twins had to place another player on the 15-day disabled list. It's pitcher Joe Nathan, who is experiencing some soreness in both his elbow and his forearm, and that right pitching arm. It's not uncommon for guys that have gone through the Tommy John surgery. On our Sanford Health Injury Report, I asked trainer Rick McWayne about this injury, and he said it's in that forearm area is where the doctors had to split the muscle to perform the Tommy John surgery. So this setback is pretty common, especially, he said, for guys who really got after it in rehab. And Dick and Bert, that's exactly what Joe Nathan did. The MRI, though, was just showing the soreness, so the Twins aren't too concerned, hoping it's just a 15-day stint.
Well, thank you, Marnie. And I think Twins fans who have seen so many big-name players go on the disabled list, you know, and in other cases, this would have been headline news. Joe Nathan on the disabled list. Young hustling down the line, and he's retired, one away. But I think Twins fans probably greeted this news with a stifled yawn, like, okay, well, we figured he'd go on the disabled list because everybody else has.
Well, if I'm a Twins fan, I'm not going to only, you know, when the Twins go on the road, I'm going to catch a flight to Fort Myers to see the rest of the Twins players.
Well, let's see. In that picture, Glenn Perkins was on the disabled list. Joe Nathan's on the disabled list, and we could take a shot in the dugout, being mindful that guys like Mauer and Slowey are down in Florida.
Yeah, Nathan's going to go down there. He's just going to rehab here a couple days and then head down to Fort Myers.
There's Jim Thome. He's been on the disabled list and took a cortisone shot.
And he's been down in Fort Myers.
Yeah. Here's Valencia. The way this is going, if you had a 2011 Twins team picture and took out the guys who've been on the disabled list, you wouldn't have anybody left.
Did you say team picture?
Popped up behind first, and Trumbo makes a foul ball catch, out number 2. Going to bring up Drew Butera. Of course, you can ask us a question anytime you'd like. We're going to pick one out a day at carsoup.com/baseball. Dennis Douglas from beautiful Pine River, Minnesota. Twins have a high success rate for stealing bases. Why then are they not running more? Good question, Dennis.
Well, there's a percentage right there. Only the Orioles have a higher percentage. Twins are 21 of 26 in stolen bases attempts. I think the way the games have been played, Gardy, just his hands have been tied sometimes. Twins were early on, I think, down a lot of runs, so it's hard to run when you're down 2 or 3 runs.
I guess you have to look at who are the guys getting on base. Who are the guys with the high on-base percentage? And you're talking about Jason Kubel. He's not a runner. And the guys who typically or are leading the team in on-base percentage, of those, only Denard Span stands out.
And Span tied with Casilla with 4 stolen bases.
1 and 2, and outside 2 and 2 to Butera. Span with an on-base percentage of .367. Kubel at .349, and then the other guys simply haven't gotten on enough. 3 and 2 with Dak.
Yeah, you have to get on base to try to steal a base.
Twins haven't walked nearly enough this year.
It's a funny game. You can't steal first.
You know about the low team batting average of .234. But the Twins have only drawn 140 walks. They've issued 176. So they are in arrears in that department too. Full count to Butera. And that's flipped foul over the Twins dugout. Aaron got off to a great start, and it might seem hard to believe this. 4 wins on the year, 3 losses. Here's his next 3-2 pitch to Butera. That's blasted to left center field. Hanging in the air, and Abreu was looking at Borges, and Borges was looking at Abreu. Now that ball was hit in the gap, but it was in the air a long time, and I don't think Abreu thought that Borges could not catch that.
A couple days ago, Torrey Hunter, who's in right field now, of course, a great center fielder, was talking to young Peter Borges about being more aggressive. Now Abreu, he doesn't cover the ground that he once did. This ball had a lot of hang time, and Abreu right there saying, come on, Borges, catch it. And you see Borges kind of relying on Abreu. So little miscommunication right there, and it'll be a double for Butera.
A double. The Twins catch a break with 2 outs. Here's Plouffe. Swing and a miss. You're talking about Herron, 4 wins on the year, and oddly enough, 3 of them came in 1 week. He got 1 win as a relief pitcher in between starts. That's off the end of the bat. Ibar flips and throws, and Butera left aboard. The Twins have a 1-0 lead after 2.
Minnesota Twins baseball is brought to you by Explore Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com to plan your next Minnesota vacation today. And that's the Grand Marais Harbor on the north shore of Lake Superior. It's situated between the shores of Lake Superior and the Sawtooth Mountain Range, 100 miles northeast of Duluth. It's also the entrance to the Gunflint Trail. I was up on my favorite lake on Wednesday, and the water was ice cold. I can imagine how cold it is up around Grand Marais these days. Mark Trumbo will lead off the 3rd inning for the Angels.
Well, Trumbull, another youngster that Mike Scioscia's letting get some at bats. Got some power, leading the Angels with 8 home runs.
Great backhanded stop by Plouffe. Sets, fires, and airmails the throw. A fan has reached over and cost the Twins a base.
First base umpire Andy Fletcher will say that he gets to stay there.
And here comes Mike Scioscia. I thought I saw the second base umpire, Mike DeMuro, motioning Trumbo towards second base. But I thought the fan who reached over to interfere with the throw would have cost the Twins a base. But that's apparently not the case.
Yeah, watch. Great play right here by Plouffe, but then he got up and airmailed it over the head of Justin, and then the fan reaching over the railing. And I think that's where the umpires have to decide, will this ball go into the camera well or not? And it would not have. It would have hit the backstop right there.
If it had been a foot or so to the left and been targeted for the camera well, that might have been the ruling, but the umpires rule that the ball would have stayed in play, and Mike Scioscia was out of the dugout for the second time in the game.
Yeah, Trumbo will get an infield base hit on that.
Here's where you're going to get your ground ball double play. You were talking about it in the 2nd inning, and the Twins got a line drive double play.
Trumbo, for a big man at first base, he has 4 stolen bases in 7 attempts.
One strike to Alexi Amarista. 2 strikes.
Amarista just 22 years old. A second baseman, can play some outfield. Just getting called up in late April from the AAA affiliate, Salt Lake City. Not getting a lot of at-bats yet.
That's down the line, but it'll twist foul.
Amarista from Venezuela, signed by the Angels in 2007.
Listed at 5'8". I'm guessing that's generous. Doesn't look that tall. And there's a ground ball. And Casilla goes the short way, and they get the lead runner. It was a risky decision and a riskier throw, but Plouffe dug it out for the first out. So not a double play there, but they do get the lead runner.
Yeah, tough little play. Casilla going to his left, and then Roy Smalley. Is this the right play for Casilla to get that lead runner?
It's a terrific play by Lexi there. It's a courageous play. It's not a safety first play, and that's what you really, really like. Try to get the lead runner if at all possible. That was a tough play, and he made it very, very well. I'd love to see guys not take the safety first route and get the easy out. It would have been easy for him just to flip it over here to first to Justin. That was a tough play, and he made it very well, and a courageous play. But the right one if you can do it.
The hitter is Jeff Mathis, and isn't that, Roy, what Ron Gardenhire's been encouraging his players to do, to not be passive? And when we're talking, well, it's been brought up in regards to Trevor Plouffe, be aggressive and try to make some plays out there.
Exactly right, and he especially wants that from his middle infielders, a shortstop most notably, but second base too. And they've been on Lexi for a long time to play the game with more abandon like that.
It's a bunt to Valencia, barehanded, and he throws into the runner, and the ball rolls away from Morneau. And there'll be runners at first and third. And Morneau appears to be okay, but he's taken the glove off his left wrist.
Yeah, that you know, the runner and the ball got there at the same time. Justin tried to reach in and get it, and Mathis got a piece of not only the glove, but right there. Look at Justin Morneau. The glove kind of just hanging on that left hand. Still now he puts it back in.
We almost saw it in the first on the Casilla bunt, where Trumbo leaned forward into the runner. First and third now, one away, and Mathis will reach on a hit, but there should be an error charged to somebody, I'm guessing, on the third baseman Valencia, to allow for Amarista to gain third base.
Yeah, watch right there. The throw in got the piece of the glove, but Mathis got a piece of Justin Morneau. Ball trickles away, and Valencia will get an error, his 5th of the year at third.
Twin fans remember 1965 when Harmon Killebrew dislocated his elbow on a similar play. That's to right field. It should tie the game, although Cuddyer comes up charging, and they'll hold the runner. Cuddyer running full tilt toward home plate, and the Angels did the smart thing there, not sending the runner.
Cuddyer, not only a strong arm, a very accurate arm. And Borges hitting the ball. Cuddyer on Hill, I mean, he just sets up and just throws a pea to Butera at home plate.
So 2 down. Dino Ebel, the third base coach for the Mariners, or for the Angels rather. Not a big guy himself, but I think he was ready to tackle Amarista if he'd have tried to come through the stop sign. Strike on the inside corner. And here's Ibar with 1 strike. And that's past Morneau and into the corner. It'll score the tying run. And Mathis to third. They're going to wave him around. Cuddyer's throw to Morneau, and it'll come through. And the Angels take a 2-1 lead. A triple for Eric Ibar as he chopped one past Morneau and into the right field corner.
Well, Justin holding on. Mathis, he jumped off the bag, and then the ball just kind of flipped over his glove, or underneath his glove in this case. Right into that corner.
So Pavano looked like he was going to wriggle out of this, but now a 2-run triple has put the Angels in front. Here's Abreu, and there's ball 1. One and one. Well, Pavano's faced 11 men. He hasn't struck anybody out yet, and this is an Angel team that has 392 strikeouts, more than anybody else in the American League. There's strike 2. Danny Valencia's error allowing the runner to take another base just off the inside corner. Plouffe made a nice pickup and overshot Morneau to start the inning.
Yeah, those are little plays you'd like to see made when your team is playing well. They'll be made.
See if they make one here. Plouffe firing on the run. There goes another one. And another run will score. He did not set his feet. He threw on the run when he probably didn't need to. And it'll be the second error of the inning. 3-1.
Well, he came charging in right here off the end of the bat. Watch Plouffe on the run. He's got time to set up right there, and then throwing the ball high. Justin have to get off the bag to get that ball.
Morneau has no chance. A stronger, accurate throw would have gotten Abreu to end the inning, so it rolls along. Roy, that both those throws have kind of been headed in your general direction. What's Plouffe's issue?
Well, I really like the way he charged the ball. You know, he's had some. We were just talking about being more aggressive. He charged that ball very aggressively, and you got to know the speed of the runner and where you are when you pick up the ball. He, as you guys have mentioned, he had time to set his feet. He didn't have to risk throwing off balance like that. I think he got in between, and whenever you get in between like that in your mind, you have a tendency to throw it away.
Well, one thing, Roy, and I mean, Abreu is still at 37 years old. He gets down that line pretty good. Now, as a former shortstop yourself, on a play like that, do you set and throw, or I mean, on the run, you work on that in BP to make that exact same play with something on it.
Popped up, Morneau over for a look, but it's going to be out of play.
You do. You work on all those plays, and you work on throwing the ball on the run when you have to. But that really, you should only throw the ball on the run. All the kids out there playing infield, you should only throw the ball on the run when that's the only chance you have to get the batter runner. If you have it all at the chance to set your feet, you should do that.
Abreu takes off. Plouffe will get another chance. Sets and fires. And here's it from the fans. Some overthrows. 3 poor throws in the inning and 3 Angel runs.
the one that I remember having figurines of and stuff, he wasn't really a superhero, but He-Man was one of the guys that, you know, I remember I had the Castle of Grayskull, and you know, Skeletor was the nemesis and stuff like that. So even though he's not a superhero or comic hero, He-Man was probably my favorite character.
And we're bringing you that because it's Kids Day here. Denard Span leading off the third. Who were your superheroes as a kid?
The Roadrunner.
Off the glove of Herron. And he gets Span. So a liner had it toward right center field, but Herron knocked it down and then flipped the first one away.
What about yourself?
Roadrunner? No, he's not.
The Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Yeah?
I love them.
One down. I think mine was Zorro. You remember Zorro?
Oh, yeah.
One down, and here's Alexi Casilla. I like Zorro. There was mystery about him because you never, you know, knew who he was behind the mask.
How about Batman then?
Yeah, well, or the Lone Ranger. But see, for some reason, I was more drawn to Zorro. One down. Here's Alexi Casilla. Strike one to Casilla, who dropped down a sacrifice bunt in the first inning.
Well, the Twins facing Dan Herron. In 9 of his 11 starts, he's allowed 2 runs or fewer. So the 3 runs the Angels put on the board, he probably thinks this is Christmas time. He has not had a lot of run support.
One and two. Toward right field and off the glove of a diving Avarista. And Casilla is aboard with 1 out. That'll bring up Kubel. Twins on the road for a week and a half. They're back home Thursday, June 9th to open a 4-game set against the American League champion Texas Rangers. And tickets are available. Limited amount of tickets for all 4 games. You can call 833-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. And the Rangers have had, I was going to say more than their share of injuries, but everybody's had an injury-depleted roster, it seems like, this year, including the Rangers. Here's Kubel, drove in the Twins' run with a single after a long battle with Herron, and he flipped off about 4 tough 2-strike fouls before driving his single to right. Leading the team with 29 runs batted in. Pitches inside, and Mathis. A 1-hop throw not in time. Actually, the shortstop Ibar made that a pretty close play by fielding a 1-hop throw and putting the tag on it.
Yeah, good jump right here by Alexi Casilla. Steals his 5th base of the year. And Mathis now has thrown out 3 of 24 potential base stealers. But Casilla, great jump off of Herron.
So Kubel with a 1-1 count, and Casilla at second base. Two and 1. It's baseball on this Memorial Day Sunday, brought to you in Sony High Definition. Ron Gardenhire wasn't around to see the end of the game last night. He was ejected when another speedy Twins runner, Denard Span, was picked off at second. Kubel with a swinging strike 2.
Yeah, 3rd time this year that Gardy has been ejected, the 55th time in his career.
And it looked on TV, at least, as if Andy Fletcher made the right call, that Span never got his hand on the bag.
Yeah, he slid into Abreu's foot.
Ibar.
Ibar.
Here's the play and the ejection.
Well, the pick off of Weaver right here, and then the quick throw and the tag. And Span, Gardy saying that he had his hand on the bag and then got tossed.
2-2. Bouncer right side. Casilla will advance. 2 down now with Morneau coming to the plate. Check out the #1 free sports app on iTunes. Check the all-new Fox Sports app with live scoring, video, and all the latest on your favorite local teams. It's free and it's on iTunes right now. Well, Morneau creamed a Heron offering into center field. It was caught by Borges, but he really drove the ball hard right up the middle, and now down and in, a swinging strike. One strike to Justin Morneau. Pulled foul. Now, Morneau being left in the cleanup spot, even though he clearly has not put up cleanup hitter numbers. Part of the reason for that, there isn't anybody else who has either. You know, if Delmon Young or Michael Kadire or somebody had started popping off home runs, we might see him hit fourth instead of Morneau. Morneau with just the 2 home runs, and Twins are hoping that by leaving him there, eventually his numbers will start picking up. 1-2. To right field and down for a hit, and a big 2-out hit for Morneau, who's hit 3 solid line drives his last 3 plate appearances.
RBI number 15 on the year for Justin. Heron left a pitch up, and Justin smacked it into right field. That looked like a little cutter that stayed right there. And the Twins are down a run.
And I'll bet you
they're not happy at the location of that pitch.
And now Kadire, who lined out to right his first time up. Strike on the outside corner. And 2 strikes. So the Twins involved right now in another 1-run game, and that's been the norm for them. They've played 48 games this year. 22 of them have been decided by 1 run. And Heron starts the inning with a 2-run lead, and the Twins cut it in half in the 3rd. Ron Gardenhire upset enough to run a little clinic on how to play in the infield, and last night the Twins played a pretty clean game, but again today, specifically in the third inning, more issues.
Well, he wants, guys to be a little more aggressive. I mean, that's just an aggressive throw over Justin's head. And then, Danny Valencia really didn't have much time to set up. Here, Trevor Plouffe had time to set up, but on the run, Air Mails one.
Here's Callaspo to start the fourth. A little pop-up, deep short. Plouffe back. One away, and it seems as if no one's been victimized more by the shoddy play in the infield than Carl Pavano. He's, as you've talked about, he's a contact pitcher, and he kind of relies on putting the ball in play, and within that, you've got to have guys making plays behind you. One down, Branyan the hitter.
Well, 2 of the 3 runs earned against Pavano last inning.
Let us know who you think will be the Arby's value player of the game. Text the word value followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234234. But if Plouffe makes the first play after feeling the hot smash, he might not have any runs at all scored, earned or unearned. Branyan put it in play, hitting a fly ball to Span to wrap up the second inning.
A good changeup right there by Pavano.
Angels acquired Branyan to provide some power. And we mentioned the Angels have struck out more than anybody else in the American League. Branyan won't help with that. Right over Pavano's cap into center field.
Yeah, Branyan getting his first hit in an Angel uniform. His 10th different team to play for.
AT&T Trivia, who holds the Angels club record for home runs by a rookie.
I believe he was Rookie of the Year way back when.
I was going to say Tim Salmon. Is that the same guy?
Yep.
Here's Mark Trumbo. Hit the ground ball sharply to the backhand side of Plouffe and made a nice pickup. And then threw the ball over Morneau's head.
I played with Tim Salmon when I was with the Angels in the late 80s. And this guy right here reminds me a lot of Tim Salmon. Trumbo. Same size, same type of build. Very strong.
That's to center. Span comes in, makes the catch, and that's out number 2. Two ground ball outs, which is a little deceiving because there could have been a couple more ground ball outs with better play, but Pavano getting his outs through the air again here today. And here's Amarista. It was Amarista dropping down the bunt. I beg your pardon. It was Amarista hitting the ground ball to Casilla, who got the force play at second base in the third inning. And that misses ball 1. Runner goes. Butera's throw. Safe. Plouffe with the catch. And he kind of waved the glove at the sliding runner, but I don't think he ever did tag him.
Yeah, Russell Branyan credited with a stolen base, getting into scoring position.
So I amend that. They got Russell Branyan because of his speed.
Yep. Pretty good jump right there. And to throw a little bit on the second base side, and Branyan sliding underneath the attempted tag.
And Amarista now with a man in scoring position. 1-1 the count. You got to feel good as a manager. We got a shot at Mike Scioscia when you send somebody like Branyan and he successfully steals.
Just looking at Branyan, that's his 15th career stolen base in 19 attempts. Stole 1 last year for the Seattle Mariners.
2-2. Squirted foul into the seats.
Well, Pavano throwing strikes, 61 pitches, 44 for strikes. No walks, no strikeouts. Earlier this month, he had back-to-back starts, one in Kansas City, one in Boston. He did not have a strikeout.
Now Casillas surrounds it, fires, Ang makes the play. A runner left aboard. It's a 3-2 ball game. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. By AT&T. And by Comcast. Call Comcast Business Class at 800-391-3000 to turn your business into a fast business. Delmon Young leading the fourth inning. Leading off the fourth inning. He takes ball one from Dan Haren. And a breaking ball off the plate, 2-0. Young with a bouncer to short his first time up. And Young took a strike. He had something bothering him as Haren was getting ready to deliver something off the brim of his helmet. Two and two. Young getting ready, and he was, as Haren was already starting his delivery, trying to clear his vision. Bouncer to short. Low throw, but Trumbo with a stretch, one away. And we'll bring up Valencia. Click on the Fan Zone tab on the FoxSportsNorth.com homepage and win unbelievable prizes. You can log on to win a Kent Hrbek autographed baseball or a bat courtesy of Carrier, or a 12-pack of Pepsi Max and 2 Twins hats. If you aren't a member, you have to join. The easy part is it's fast and it's free. The frustrating thing, I guess, is here's Valencia with a high pop-up. Right field, and Hunter comes in, out number 2. It's fast, it's free, and it's all at the Fan Zone tab on Fox Sports North. Here's Butera. You must have gone through stretches in your career where you're continuing to pitch well, but the team doesn't score you many runs, and you want to.
Only for about 5 years, Dick.
You want to win a ball game, but you ultimately sometimes have so little control over that.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jarrett Weaver last night. 9 innings, shutout baseball, gave up only 2 hits, and you get a no decision, and your club loses. That's the worst part of, you know, pitching 9 shutout innings. You'd like to at least win that ball game. On the opposite side, you know, you have to look what Swarzak did. Only 1 hit allowed in 8 innings, and he got a no decision. It was Alex Burnett that got the win. Takahashi, the reliever for the Angels, got the loss.
1-2 to Butera. Got a double his last time up. He hit a seam in the Angel outfield defense. Sending one to left center, and Abreu and Borges converged on it. Neither one caught it. And Butera strikes out, and Herron has his first 1-2-3 inning.
Bring back the stash, Pavano.
First pitch of the 5th inning. Jeff Mathis fouling it back, 1 strike.
Well, sometimes you have to change your luck. So Pavano getting rid of that, hoping that he can win here this afternoon and win his 100th Major League game. This is his 6th try to do that.
1-1.
You don't think about it at the beginning, but all of a sudden you get into your 4th timeout, 5th timeout, now the 6th timeout. You hope to just get it off your back and keep going.
Get working on the next 100.
Yeah.
1-2. Mathis, Borges, and Ibar facing Pavano here in the 5th inning. I would imagine something similar is happening in between the ears of John Danks. He's trying to win his first game of the year. He's 0-7. He started today, gave up 9 earned runs in 4 innings. And Toronto's leading the White Sox 13-2. And here's John Danks.
That's not good.
John Danks, one of the better left-handed pitchers in the game, and looks like he's going to go 0-8. Did you ever get to know Terry Felton at all, who was a relief pitcher for the Twins?
No, I never knew him.
He had 1 year pitching, I think, exclusively out of the bullpen. This one flipped foul, and Kanayer will chase it, where he went 0-13. And in his major league career, all with the Twins, he was 0-16. He never won a major league game.
That's how hard it is to win.
But you would think somewhere's in there somebody would, hit a 3-run home run while he came in out of the bullpen. Lined and passed Plouffe off his glove into short left field. Mathis around first. And the leadoff man's aboard here in the 5th. Should be a base hit for Mathis.
Yeah, Mathis bunted for a base hit in that 3-run 3rd inning right here. Hits the ball sharply. And it's not, I don't think Gardy's going to be upset that this ball got away. It's Plouffe standing there. Go after the ball. He makes Delmon Young go get it. And you kind of lose your aggressiveness right there by him just standing there and watching that ball roll away. Go after it.
Peter Bourjos, the hitter. A couple of fly balls to right field so far for him. And there's a strike. Terry Felton in 1980 was 0-3 in 5 games, had an ERA of 7. In 1982, Terry Felton was 0-13 with an ERA of 4.99, made 6 starts, 48 appearances overall. Got in 1 game in 1981. Two strikes to Bourjos, who, as we said before, has been strikeout prone. That's been one of his issues in the month of May. See if Pavano can get one here. 1-2. .57 strikeouts for Bourjos against just 13 walks.
He's a guy that when he makes contact, he has 6 triples. There goes a runner,
There's
a strikeout,
and a stolen base. So Pavano gets his strikeout, but the catcher steals second, 1 away.
Fans, go to foxsportsnorth.com and click on the Circle Me Burt to submit an email. And these people are in our booth right now, or you were here by Circled, and you might find yourself up here in the booth visiting us. We'll reveal 2 sections the morning before each game. One will be listed on Fox Sports Net and the other one on KFAN.com. And here they are. Congratulations. Georgette, I can't believe you said yes. What's wrong with you?
This one into short center. Mathis got a real good read on the ball. He's going to come around third and score. And so the Angels now take a 2-run lead on Eric Ibar's looping single to center.
Yeah, Ibar, he hit the big 2-run triple in the 3-run 3rd inning right here. Softly hitting this ball in front of Denard Span.
Friday night he hit the big 3-run home run on the first pitch he saw from Dusty Hughes.
Not a bad pitch, but right off the end of the bat creates the RBI single. So Ibar having a good afternoon with 3 runs driven in.
Bobby Abreu. Well, the Twins cut the Angel lead to 1 run. Now they've expanded it back to 2. Two years ago, the Angels had one of the most potent offenses in the American League, and they made it to the postseason. Last year, their run production dropped by more than 200 runs, more than a run per game. There goes another runner, and stolen base attempt is thrown out. So we've had a stolen base by Russell Branyan and the catcher Jeff Mathis, and now one of the speediest guys gets thrown out.
Yeah, Eric Ibar leading the Angels in stolen bases with 12, but a good throw by Butera gets him for just the 2nd time this year. Roy Smalley, good quick tag there.
Oh, that was terrific. Of course, Drew Butera made a great throw, but Trevor Plouffe slapped a great tag. We've talked about how to tag guys out as Abreu gets another base hit, but we've talked before in our instructionals about the best way to tag, and he did it to perfection there, right down at the start of the bag. Watch how he goes straight down to the bag. That's where the runner's coming. He didn't reach out to get him. He went right down to the bag quickly, and he, as much as the throw, made that throw out work.
Yeah, that sweep right there. You saw him get the left hand of Ibar before he could get it on the bag. Nice quick tag.
3 hits in the inning. 2 are out, and here's Torrey Hunter, who singled his first time up. And Abreu took a couple of hard steps toward second base.
Abreu, again, 37 years old. He's one of these guys that if you don't pay attention to him, he'll take off. 8 stolen bases for Abreu in 10 attempts. And he has almost 400 stolen bases in his career.
And there's a throw over, and that might be the first throw over of the inning. It's a lot of stolen bases for somebody who you don't think of as a base stealer.
Right.
Ball 1. Torrey typically has not hit Twins pitching very well. Kloof to Casilla. That ends the inning. 3 singles, a stolen base, and a run for the Angels in the top of the 5th.
Time for the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle, and we have $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets for Jason Mueller, who is the owner of restaurants in Morris, Minnesota, and Fergus Falls, Minnesota, Bello Cucina. And he brought 8 of his employees to the Twins game this afternoon. It's like employee bonding day, courtesy of the boss.
Yeah, you know, Tony Oliva and Mr. Blackburn stopped in for lunch one day, so we figured we'd stop in for lunch here.
And in return, $100 worth of scratch-off tickets, Dickenberg.
Very, very nice. I spent a lot of time in Morris, Minnesota, and Fergus Falls. I was interested and glad to see in the Minneapolis paper in the travel section they focused on the beautiful town of Fergus Falls, Minnesota.
Oh, Trevor Plouffe right there attempting a bunt. The bunt not far enough away from Mathis. He jumped on it and able to get the out at first base.
Window Concepts window of opportunity, and the Twins, even though they're not going to have a winning homestand, have seen Denard Span enjoy the homestand. 1 strike. And now a ball. Tap foul, and it's 1-2. Now, we mentioned before, it's a 2-run game now, but the Twins have had almost half their games decided by 1 run, and it's not an attempt to sugarcoat things. The Twins haven't played well. Nobody knows that more than the manager. They haven't done much of anything right in the first 2 months of the season. Span takes inside. But in a way, is there any consolation for Twins fans, Bert, that there's so many close games and so many of them, one play going the other way could have meant a win instead of a loss?
Well, I look at the thing that's going to happen here, on this road trip. The Twins start playing within their division, and Twins have always played very well in their division. Right now, they're 5-6 in the Central Division. And hopefully, you start playing your division, they have that success. Hopefully, they'll get on a run and get back to 500. That's their main goal, and that's quite a hefty goal right now when they're 16 games under 500.
2-2.
And the season goes on. Joe Nathan just went on a disabled list. Hopefully, Joe Mauer is going to be back soon. Nishioka transferred from the 15-day disabled list to the 60-day disabled list. Means that he cannot come back up, I think, until the 13th of June, somewhere like that. That's the scheduled date for Nishioka to come back. Jose Majares might be able to rejoin the ball club tomorrow in Detroit. Ouch.
And Heron.
What a great sound. Oh. Not for Span, but for a retired pitcher, great sound.
You can log on to FoxSportsNorth.com. Check out Tyler Mason's story on former Twin Torrey Hunter. You can read that story and more at FoxSportsNorth.com. Now, just to avoid any confusion, Nishioka being moved to the 60-day disabled list isn't going to impact in any way his return date. It's just he's been gone that long. They weren't ready to bring him back before the 60 days is up. But in this case, it allowed Chuck James to be added to the 40-man roster. And James is here to help pitch out of the bullpen.
And you know what? They're filled up with the 15-man DL, so they had to move somebody off the 15-day disabled list to allow, Nathan to go on the 15-day DL.
1-1 to Casilla. I mean, just imagine the reaction for Twins fans a couple years ago. Granted, he was in a different role. But if Joe Nathan were put on the 15-day disabled list with elbow concerns, it would have been big, front page type stuff. This one bunted in the air, and Casilla's going to get a base hit. Asco came in, and once it hit the grass and died there, Casilla was going to get a base hit. His second bunt of the ball game, the first one a sacrifice.
Casilla bunting that ball here with 2 outs. He gets on, so you have to anticipate Casilla is going to try to steal a base right here. I just don't like that play with 2 outs. I'd rather see a guy hit a double, but let's see if Casilla tries to get in the scoring position.
Kubel comes to the plate representing the tying run. Close, and Casilla gets back.
Yeah, Casilla had to slide on the outfield side or the outside side of the bag to get that right hand back on the bag. Mathis throwing behind Kubel. And Casilla almost crawling back.
Well, Casilla aboard for Kubel, one of the Twins' power threats. And strike 2 is called. This homestand started with the Twins hitting 3 home runs. Span hit 1, Thome hit 2.
Tim Welke calling that a strike. The crew chief here. Welke in his 29th year as umpiring.
2 strikes to Jason Kubel. The Twins started the homestand with 3 home runs. They hit some in Arizona, and with here we go. The Twins haven't homered since the first game of the Seattle series. Two strikes to Kubel. And a little bouncer to short. Ends the inning. Twins get a base hit, a bunt hit. Leave Casilla aboard. It's 4-2.
forecast for tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. when the Twins take on the Tigers for Game 1 of the series. It is going to be a very warm and humid day, areas of clouds and sunshine. First pitch temperature, 85 degrees.
Well, who would think that the first time we run into summertime temperatures in the upper Midwest, and it's going to be in Detroit.
Yeah, a place where they've had a lot of rain. 4 rainouts already this year.
Well, they had one yesterday, and as a result of that, they've got to play a doubleheader in Detroit, and the first game looks like it might go into extra innings. It's 3-3 in the 8th. One quick out here in the 6th inning. Iaspo retired and Branyan did play. Our AT&T trivia question.
We'll go Tim Salmon, but let's throw Gary DiSarcina in there just for the heck of it.
How many home runs did Gary DiSarcina hit? And I think locally Jimmy Hall still holds the Twins record for home runs by a rookie. In what, 63? He hit 33? I have to look that up when I get a chance, but I think that's the record. The Twins, Harmon Killebrew aside, really have not had that many prolific home run hitters. They had rosters in the early 60s that led the league in home runs. But really, when you think about it, Harmon's the only guy who's reached 40 home runs in Twins history. And they went almost 20 years between guys who hit 30. We don't know whether Jim Thome, who's hit 2 home runs on this homestand, whether he's even available today with the cortisone shot. Typically, they like to let those sit for a day, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
3-2. Pavano struck out Borges last inning. Trying to get Branyan here. Got him with a changeup, 2 down.
And Pavano picks up his second strikeout. Good changeup right there, had Russell Branyan way out front.
It's a 2 gone. And here's Mark Trumbo. Well, you must have enjoyed the Twins game yesterday. A 1-0 10-inning game.
That's the way it should be every day.
You know, I'm watching that and I couldn't help. And, you know, those are very intriguing games, and you're locked in on every pitch because every pitch can decide the game. And then I thought, how in the world did we survive Game 7 of the '91 World Series? 1-0, 10 innings. Jack Morris, author of that gem, sitting in the booth next to us doing the radio broadcast. Coors Light 6th inning in the Coors Light freeze cam.
Well, Trevor Plouffe came running in and then just threw that ball wildly right there. Yeah, you can see where the ball is right there. And Ron Gardner and I was talking about stay aggressive, throw that ball on the line, and Trevor Plouffe, the ball just slipped away.
Frostbrewed Coors Light freeze cam, and we go to the bottom of the sixth. Justin Morneau will lead things off. He's hit the ball hard twice here today, once for an out, once for an RBI single. A big swing there and a foul.
Well, one thing that Dan Herron's been able to do, 22 batters, he's been able to get strike one on 19 of the 22. So getting ahead in the count.
2 strikes.
This guy has been durable. Go back to 2005, he has not missed a start. 215 consecutive starts for Dan Herron.
Inside 1-2.
Herron's career started with the Cardinals back in 2003, then with the Oakland A's, the Diamondbacks, and then traded over last year from the Diamondbacks to the Angels. Making his 233rd major league start. 95 wins, 77 losses.
And now 3-2 with Cuddyer on deck. Middle of the Twins lineup, Morneau, Cuddyer, and Young. And Morneau flips it foul. Pitch outside and lifted over the Angel dugout again. Toronto has beaten Chicago 13-4. Tampa Bay leading Cleveland 7-0 late in that game. Indians going through some tough times. And another line drive off the bat of Morneau. Those might be, counting the one in the 10th inning last night, in his first 3 at bats here today, the best sequence of 4 at bats Justin's had.
I think it always helps too where the pitch is, and that ball pretty much right down the middle of the plate. We saw Justin so many times foul that pitch straight off and back to the backstop. Now he's making good solid contact.
So now Cuddyer. And it's bounced wide of third, 1 strike. The current hitting coach next to the former hitting coach. Scotty Ulcher's been a hitting coach, a third base coach. Now he's the bench coach. Double play ball. And the Angels turn it 2 down. And that'll bring up Delmon Young with the bases empty. Young with 2 ground balls to short. Boy, what a contrast in starting pitchers. Pavano getting almost all his outs on fly balls, and Herron getting so many ground ball outs and getting 2 outs on 1 ground ball there.
Hey, he's got a very solid windup. You know, Daisuke Matsuzaka with the Boston Red Sox, you know, he has that windup where he hesitates a little bit. Dan Herron does it a little bit differently because he will do it once he gets that left leg up over that pitching rubber. He'll hold it for a second to make sure that that's his balance point right there, and then everything comes toward home plate altogether. We've talked about Baker so much being up in the strike zone because he doesn't have that. He doesn't allow sometimes that arm to catch up. And you can see right there, he allows that to keep that ball down in the strike zone consistently.
3-1. Also seems like he varies the delay. Sometimes it's more pronounced than others. Lace to left. Abreu was playing back by the warning track. And so he cuts over to field the ball. The Twins with a couple of sharp singles here in the 6th, and that gets Valencia to the plate.
Yeah, the hits are all even. 8 hits apiece for both ball clubs.
And for the Quest high-speed pitch, brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet.
Dan Herron at 93, Pavano at 90. Herron with 102 pitches in the ball game.
Here's Valencia. And there is strike 1. That's to the left field corner. We'll see how far Young can go here. Abreu plays the carom, and so they'll hold Young at third. Valencia with a double, 3rd hit of the inning.
Herron leaving some pitches up. Danny Valencia with his 8th double of the year hooked it into the corner. And Abreu playing deep. So all he has to do is go over to his right and get that ball off the carom, off the wall, and get it back in. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, out to talk to Dan Herron. Quick trip to the mound by pitching coach Mike Butcher.
And Drew Butera, who's 1 for 2, a double and a strikeout, trying to get a hit to the outfield that might tie the game.
I had a chance to talk to Mike Butcher yesterday about the pitch count, 100 pitches. And he's got a couple starters. Last night it was Jarrett Weaver threw 128 pitches in 9 shutout innings. And this is another guy they'll let go a little bit deeper. Most pitches he's thrown in the ballgame, Dan Herron 125, and now 1-hit shutout against the Oakland A's.
A little pop fly to right should end the inning.
That's a good trip to the mound.
Twins get 3 hits in the inning, but a double play ball takes care of the rally. Story of the game.
Well, Twins scored in the first inning, RBI single by Jason Kubel, but the Angels came back in a kind of a sloppy defensive inning for the Twins. They scored 3 runs, 2 earned runs. Justin Morneau with an RBI single made it a 3-2 ball game. The Angels added 1 in the 5th. And Eric Ibar with his 3rd RBI of the ball game. And that's where we sit, a 4-2 Angels lead. And there you go, young lady, on Kids Day. You are hereby circled. Very nice sign. Thank you very much.
Bert and Ernie.
Ernie Camacho. It's the only Ernie I played with in my career.
No, really?
Mm-hmm.
22 years, and there wasn't another
No,
Ernie?
Well, kind of cool. If I started a ball game and he got the save in Cleveland, it would be Bert and Ernie.
Right. Line to left field. Young over. One away. Best I ever saw listed in the newspaper was a doubleheader that the Kansas City Royals had to play on a Sunday afternoon. And the listed starters were Bud Black and Vida Blue.
Black and blue.
Black and blue. Here's Jeff Mathis.
Well, Mathis not known for his offense. 2 hits here so far this afternoon. A bunt single in the 3rd. And then a single in the 5th. He's scored 2 of the 4 runs for the Angels.
And stolen base leading to a run. The Angels scored 3 runs in the 3rd on some shoddy infield play by the Twins. Well, there's a pop fly to second base. Casilla calls for it. Out number 2. Marty Gellner's got some young Twins fans with it.
I do, and they're baseball players. Beside me is Dylan Dubuque from Brooklyn Park. He's 12 years old. He's raising money to go play in a baseball tournament later this summer, so these kids bought tickets to help in the fundraiser. Dylan, what do you like about playing baseball?
I like getting hits.
That's a good thing. You get a lot of them?
Yeah.
You want to tell Bert Blyleven where your tournament is coming up in the first week of August?
Hey, Bert, we're going to Cooperstown, New York.
Wow, very nice.
Save him a seat, Bert.
Very nice fielding play by Danny Valencia as he throws out the speedy Peter Borges. And it's a 1-2-3 7th for Carl Pavano. Angels leading by a couple of runs, but on this most patriotic of weekends. Earlier we brought you the Star Spangled Banner. We're very happy today to bring you God Bless America.
Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountain to the prairie to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
On time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Medica. On Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Try a strawberry banana or wild berry real fruit smoothie today.
and by the new Quest 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise for more details. Time for the Twins to turn a ball game around late. The Angels did it to them on Friday. We'll see if the Twins can do it here today. And Trevor Plouffe will lead things off in the bottom of the 7th inning. And you look at the homestand records. And the Twins with a 2-3 homestand, a 2-3 homestand, an 0-5 homestand, and then so far this one's a 2-3 homestand too.
And Dan Herron going out there for the 7th inning.
2-0. Plouffe, Span, and Casilla trying to get a run or two here in the 7th. 3-0. Herron walks off the mound in disgust. Plouffe tried to bunt for a hit last time up, was thrown out easily by Jeff Mathis.
Herron has not walked anybody yet with a couple strikeouts.
A 4-pitch walk to the number 9 batter puts Plouffe aboard. And a Coors Line cold hard blast taking you back to the first game of this homestand.
Yeah, back on Monday, the 23rd of May, Jim Thome in the 4th inning, a 2-run home run. And then in the 7th inning, another 2-run home run for Jim Thome.
So Span doubled down the left field line leading off the ball game. Since then, a couple of comebackers to Herron. And we don't believe Jim Thome is available after having a cortisone shot in his shoulder last night after the game. Generally need to let the numbness and stiffness go out of the affected area for a day or so. Tap foul, 2 strikes. Two strikes to Span. Trying to take advantage of some rare control problems for Herron, walking the leadoff man, the number 9 batter, on 4 pitches to start this 7th inning. It's the only walk he's issued so far. Pulled foul. They're in the top of the 9th in Detroit, 3-3. And again, they've got to play a second game because of the rain out yesterday. And that's where the Twins are going to play an afternoon game tomorrow. So, I'm sure the Tiger bullpen will be stressed out by the time we get there.
Pretty good matchup in game 2. It's Josh Beckett against Verlander, Justin Verlander.
Now, what am I talking about? Bullpens can take the second game off, probably, right? Span drives another one down the left field line. Plouffe to third. And they're going to hold him there with Span collecting his second double in the same spot. That one fair by inches.
Well, we've talked about it so many times. Span, a guy that lets that ball go deep into the strike zone at the last second, just utilizing those quick wrists and hitting this ball right down the third base line. Does it stay fair? Yes, it does. So Span gets his second double. Runners at second and third. And Dan Herron's afternoon is done.
When we come back, just an interesting look at where the point of contact was when Span got his double.
BlackBerry. You can get all the score, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text @BAT to 31826. Visit twinsbaseball.com for details. Talk about a ball getting deep. Look at this angle right down the line, and the point of contact is actually in foul territory, behind the plate almost.
Boy, you have to have quick wrists, and we've seen Span do that. Just hit that ball the other way.
Well, Scott Downs, who's been a Twins killer, coming in to try to kill a rally.
Yeah, over the last 22 appearances for Scott Downs, covering 23 and a third innings, he's not allowed an earned run. Now, he can give up these 2 runs if he wants. Those
Again,
aren't his.
Same situation as Friday, you know. Middle infielder's back for Casilla. Bouncer to short. It'll score a run. And it's 4-3. Well, you want another base hit, but how could there be a more productive out than one that produces a run?
Yeah, Plouffe scores for the first time in a ball game. Now it's a 1-run ball game as Casilla picks up an RBI, his 6th of the year. And on the play, Span has to stay at second base.
And Kubel looking for another RBI hit. He drove in Span in the first inning with a single. Now he'll try to do it again here in the 7th. Outside, ball 1. One and 0 to Jason Kubel. Downs' season got off to kind of an odd start. He was on the disabled list. He was simply at home playing with his kids, and somehow he broke the big toe on his left foot. So in a season where we've had all sorts of weird injuries in baseball, that sharply hit, knocked down by the shortstop, and Kubel will get an infield hit. So a pretty well hit ball, and in knocking it down, Ibar kept Span from advancing.
Yeah, Kubel gets his 2nd hit of the ball game. Ibar have to play that little short hop. Ball hit pretty sharply. Ibar going to his right, knocks it down, thought about it, but held on to it.
So now big at bat for Morneau, who, as we said, has probably put together yesterday and today the best consecutive 4 at bat period of his whole season. He's hit 4 line drives. And a couple of hits and a line out here today. Twins last inning got 3 hits, including a double, but didn't score because of the double play ball. Trying to get the game tied up here in the 7th. At the knees, a strike.
Scott Downs signing as a free agent over to the winter, the last 6 years with the Toronto Blue Jays. Was once in the Twins minor league system back in 1999. Came up to the big leagues with the Cubs the next year.
Inside. 1-1. One of the problems the Angels had last year is their bullpen issued more walks than any other bullpen in the American League. Two and one. And that's been an issue for them again this year with some relievers. Fernando Rodney principally with 14 walks in 19 innings, but Downs has always been a strike thrower and has only walked 3 in his 15 and a third inning. Two and one. High chopper over the mound. Step on a bag, double play. So the Twins get a walk and 2 hits, score a run in the 7th. They're still down by a run.
Favorite cartoon would have been Bugs Bunny. You know, the one that jumps out is the episode where he was playing baseball, and it's just Bugs Bunny versus 9 guys. And I forget what they're called, the Slammers or the Whammers or something like that. You know, and he gives up a home run, and he runs outside the stadium and climbs the top of a building and catches the ball. And you know, he's pitching, he's throwing the baseball, and then he's running behind home plate and he's catching the baseball, and it's, I don't know, it's Bugs Bunny always grabbed my attention, and that was probably my favorite.
Can't go wrong with Bugs Bunny, Matt Capps.
And interesting, your superhero was also probably your favorite cartoon, Roadrunner, right?
Mm-hmm. I picked that because my mother loved the Roadrunner.
Yeah?
And whatever my mother likes, I like. Cap serving some water there.
Boy, Ibar's having a great series. Big home run Friday, and now 3 hits here today. Lead-off single in the 8th.
Pavano had retired 7 straight, and then left the pitch up right there to Ibar, and he smacked it into right field.
Tracks brought to you by Carrier. You can see the target down and in, and Pavano left it right down the heart of the plate. Angels, of course, had some injuries, principally to Kendrys Morales. And as a result of that, we're on the outside looking in come playoff time. But they, like the Twins, have kind of dominated their division with 5 championships in the last 7 years. 1 strike to Abreu. 1-1. 100 pitches now for Pavano.
Well, Ibar at first base in the 5th inning tried to steal second, got thrown out by Drew Butera.
And there he goes. Pitch grounded under Morneau's glove again. And Abreu taking off on the pitch will be waved around third. He's coming home. Kadyr's throw to Pavano backing up the play. And the Angels, as soon as the Twins score in the bottom of the 7th, come right back quickly in the top of the 8th.
Abreu wanting that ball. Abreu credited with a double, an RBI. Second time we've seen this ball go past Morneau, and then Ibar sees that ball's down that right field corner, and his speed scores all the way from first base.
Well, Abreu now has passed Luke Gehrig on the list of doubles hitters. Here's Torrey Hunter, and there's strike one. Jim Hoey warming up. Chuck James just called up down there as well. Swing and a miss by Hunter, 2 strikes. Blues snags a line drive, and Hunter 3 times has hit the ball at the shortstop. 1 away. Twin single game suites are again this year a very popular feature. Most are sold out for the season, but you can take advantage of spending the next big summertime holiday here at the ballpark. Spend America's birthday, 4th of July weekend, enjoying America's pastime. Call 833-TWINS. Ask about the Twins single game suite options. And the weekend leading up to the 4th, the Milwaukee Brewers will be in town. And we will have Bob Uecker's first visit to Target Field. Remember last year Bob had some health issues and didn't come to Minnesota. 1 strike to Callaspo. Now, Pavano over 100 pitches, and he's run into some difficulty here in the 8th, but Twins are more than willing to let him try to work through this, in part because of the status of the bullpen. 3 lefties, 3 righties. One of the other relief pitchers had to start yesterday for Liriano. So the Twins with a bullpen of lefties Hughes, Dumatre, and James, and right-handers Capps, Burnett, and Hoey. Capps and Burnett pitched yesterday. 1-2 to Callaspo. Popped up. Should be an out. Shouldn't advance the runner. 2 down. Well, Pavano gave up a single and a double to start the inning, but now 2 outs. And he'll go after Russell Branyan. Tampa Bay beat Cleveland 7-0. Butera to the mound to talk to Pavano. And here comes Rick Anderson.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
What are they talking about here? How to go after Branyan?
Well, maybe first base open, being very careful right here. The other, it's been Rick Anderson making some of the moves because of Gardy's knee. That he got a cortisone shot. Injected in that knee. Anderson on his way back to the dugout.
When you want a confrontation with an umpire, though, you pretty much got to do that yourself. You can't send out a coach to argue a call at second base that they had yesterday. So Gardy limped out there and limped back after being ejected. Swing and a foul, 1 strike.
Good changeup right there by Pavano. That's a pitch that struck him out in his last at bat in the 6th inning. A good changeup.
One and one. Branyan will play some at first base as he did yesterday, but principally will be a designated hitter. And pinch hitter just off the plate, 2-1.
Another good changeup.
So if I have this right, they're going after him with fastballs off the plate and changeups getting swings and misses.
So far in this at-bats, it's exactly what they've done. Another changeup, and that time Russell Branyan held up.
Full count to Branyan. First base is open. Trumbo on deck.
Another changeup got him.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good trip to the mound, too, when they discussed the strategy of how to strike out Russell Branyan.
At the bottom of the 8th inning. We hope you'll stay with us after the game for our coverage in Quest Twins Live. We'll include the Toyota post-game wrap and look at some costly errors for the Twins. 2 of them in the 3rd inning when the Angels of Los Angeles Anaheim scored 3 runs in that 3rd inning. Plus, Justin Morneau, he's been on the ball all day today. What he's doing to get his swing back. Plus, our instructional on the field with Roy Smalley, the former shortstop. It's planting your feet the correct way for a shortstop to get that ball headed to first base. And some of the kids will take part in that instructional as well. Dick and Bert, as always, on our Kids' Days on Sundays.
Yeah, thank you, Marty. You know what? I'm glad that she kind of messed up the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, because I grew up there. They were the California Angels, the Anaheim Angels.
The Los Angeles Angels,
right.
They were.
Yeah.
And Fernando Rodney comes in out of the pen for the Los Angeles Angels of Rancho Cucamonga.
Well, a lot of walks for Fernando Rodney. He worked here the other night. Walked a batter. 19 innings pitched, 14 walks, 15 strikeouts.
Rodney was the closer at the start of the year. That didn't last real long. Now Reggie Willits in left for Bobby Abreu. Cuddyer 0 for 3, a line out, a strikeout, and a ground ball double play. Twins have hit into 2 costly ones here in the last couple innings. Cuddyer's double play after a Morneau single was followed by a single and a double. The Twins didn't score, and then the Twins got one back. We're in position to tie the game up, but then Morneau wrapped into one to wrap up the 7th inning.
Yeah, Scott Downs did a good job coming in with runners at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and the Twins able to only score 1 run.
1 and 2.
Good fastball right there at 95 miles an hour from Fernando Rodney.
It was Rodney on the mound for the last 3 and a fraction innings in game 163 for the Tigers. And then he went over to the Angels after that as their closer. And Cuddyer lucky to get a piece of that. Tigers lost the opener to Boston 4-3. They'll reset things at Comerica Park and play a nightcap. And the Twins go to Detroit for the first time. Trying to get aboard. And the Twins had a game taken away from them in the 8th inning Friday night. And the 8th inning had been such a terrible inning for the Twins. See if they can win the 8th inning here today. High fastball gets him. One away.
Well, Cuddyer going on down on strikes a second time. Bad day at the plate for Michael Cuddyer, swinging a high pitch. Here's my pick to stick. I think I lost some points.
A couple of strikeouts and a double play. That's not good.
That's not good at all.
Here's Delmon Young and a trip to the mound. Inside, ball one. Young with a single. And now 2-0. Delmon obviously struggling. Fans sometimes wonder what we're talking about when we talk about something like slugging percentage. Slugging percentage basically is how many of your hits are extra base hits. Higher the number, the better the number. Here's a big, strong guy that drove in over 100 runs last year. And coming into the game, he had a slugging percentage of .270.
Yeah, 3 doubles, 1 home run for Delmon Young. Same can be said for Michael Cuddyer and also Justin Morneau, so it's not just Delmon Young.
Cuddyer slugging percentage .382. Justin Morneau .333. But Delmon Young is off to a very poor start. The injury can be blamed for part of that, to be sure. 2-2. And a foul out of play.
Well, you think of last year, he hit .298, drove in 112 runs, and hit 21 home runs. 46 doubles last year.
Yeah.
.493 slugging percentage last year.
2-2. Right off the end of the bat.
Well, Rodney, 2 years ago with the Tigers in 2009, 37 saves. Last year, 14 saves and 72 relief appearances. Originally signed by the Tigers back in '97. Spent 12 seasons in the Tigers system before signing as a free agent with the Angels.
Bouncer to third. Easy play for Callaspo. 2 down. On June 16th, you'll have an opportunity to hang with the majors at Toby Keith's I Love This Bar in St. Louis Park. Numerous current Twins will be on hand for a private dinner and public event. This year's Hang with the Majors benefits the Minnesota Military Family Foundation. Tickets available right now for this event, hosted by the Twins Wives Organization. And visit twinsbaseball.com to get tickets and more information. Here's Danny Valencia. Got an extra base hit his last time up, doubling into the left field corner. Ball one. And that's a foul ball that should reach the seats. 1-1. You know, Valencia's average isn't anything to write home about. Hitting at .231, but he's driven in 25 runs, which is second on the team to Jason Kubel. on the outside corner. 1-2. Protect the plate and lifts a foul down the line. And Trumbo almost got there. Angels playing .500 baseball, which means in their division they're a game out of first place and a game out of last place. Been a very mediocre division so far. That's hit pretty well to center field. Chased by Borges. And he makes the play right about where he reached up and almost or hit an almost home run off the bat of Jim Thome here the other night. Twins find themselves behind by a couple runs as we go to the 9th inning. Kids Day here at Target Field.
Well, Carl Pavano, 8 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts. So he kept the club in the game. And now here Jim Hoey coming in, making his 12th appearance. He had a rough outing here a couple nights ago where he relieved Alex Burnett. Faced only 2 batters, both of them got hits.
As a result of that, with the 3-run home run that was going to follow, Hoey charged with 2 more earned runs. Those numbers far from what the Twins thought. An opponent batting average of over 400. They thought the biggest concern for Hoey would be walking people, and he's been respectable in that regard.
Well, I talked to Ron Gardenhire yesterday and Rick Anderson. What they want Hoey to do is start throwing that slider a little bit. He's throwing nothing but fastball and splitter. They want to see that slider that they sent him down to AAA to work on. Good fastball right there. He's got a good fastball. That one clocked at 96 here at Target Field.
But that almost looked like it had some cut to it, like some movement to it.
There's the splitter right there at 85.
One and one to Mark Trumbo. That's hit high and deep to left. And Mark Trumbo greets Jim Hoey with a home run. A long one at that. and it's 6-3.
Well, again, if you throw nothing but fastballs, I don't care if you throw at 87, 88, or 95. Good hitters are going to catch up to it. That's what Trumbo does. His 9th home run of the year. Caught up to that high fastball.
That was up and out of the strike zone. And Trumbo jerked it out of here.
Well, that's why they want him to go work. That's why they sent him down. Work on that slider.
Now a foul off the bat of Alexei Amarista. Two strikes. So Detroit, Chicago, and Cleveland have all lost. And right now the Twins are behind by 3 runs.
Now he has an opportunity to work on that little slider right here. They said even when they sent him down, he threw maybe 2 or 3 sliders in ball games. Down in Rochester. Another fastball just missing down.
I remember when he got called up and he had that one really good outing against his former team, the Orioles, and he was talking about that split finger pitch, how he ranked his pitches now with the splitter his number 2 pitch and the slider his 3rd best pitch. 1 down.
Yeah, but I think that's what upset Gardy and Rick Anderson. They haven't seen the 3rd pitch.
Right.
You know, it's nothing but fastball, split finger.
And I think what we've seen is if your fastball is straight as a string up here, it might overpower AAA hitters, but up here people are going to catch up to it. Here's Mathis. Swing and a miss.
It's that splitter right there for strike 1. Mathis swings through it. There's certain counts when you're out there on the mound you can work on pitches. And this is one of them right here. Get ahead in the count, and then he just threw the fastball by him. But to get better, that's what they want Jim Hoey to do. And the only way he's going to get better is to throw that breaking ball once in a while.
Popped up, heading back in our general direction. Well, believe it or not, having pitchers who can throw hard like Hoey does, that's pretty common. I mean, there are guys who threw hard who couldn't succeed up here, and there's a drive to right. Kadire near the line. He makes the catch. That's out number 2. Throwing hard doesn't really separate you from that many people. There are guys who threw hard in the major league. They're driving cabs in every major league city in the country.
There's guys down on single A that throw as hard as Hoey, but they need a secondary pitch. Yeah, you know, they sent him down the first time out of spring training to work on that splitter, and he did that, but they sent him down the second time to work on the slider, and it doesn't look like he worked on that. Now that fastball right there, when he gets out front, that's the pitch you're talking about. It's got a little run to it.
It's a foul ball, 1 strike. Twins keep losing the battle of the late innings. And the Angels have added another run here in the 9th. And when you say that, you're generally pointing the finger at the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, the starters over the last 11 ball games before today's game had a combined 2.91 ERA. So the starters were picking it up, but that bullpen, boy, they have been struggling. An ERA over 6.
And then you think back to that stat. The Twins in 1-run games are 10-12. Half their games have been 1-run games just about, with 12 1-run losses. And then you factor in the bullpen numbers, and it's no secret where the Achilles heel is for this Twins team.
You know what? Under Gardy, they had Jesse Crane, Matt Guerrero, John Roush. Last year, Brian Fuentes came in late. They had some great arms out there that were durable. That's why the Twins had such great records. But this year's bullpen, a lot of new faces. It just hasn't panned out.
There's Chuck James added to the 40-man roster and brought up here with Joe Nathan going on the disabled list. There's an off-speed pitch that misses, and it's a full count.
Yeah, James probably pretty nervous out there. He has not been in a major league game since 2008. So you know he's biting at the bit to get in.
Did a really good job in Rochester. Another one sent back toward us.
Yeah, James had left shoulder surgery and missed all of 2009. And sometimes it takes a long time to get back to the major league level. So James says he's ready.
Another 3-2. And he walked him. So a 2-out walk will get Ibar to the plate, hottest hitter in the Angel lineup. And Borges and his speed are aboard, and Hoey will be tested here because Borges is going to be a threat to steal, and so to partially counter that, Rick Anderson's going to bring in a left-handed pitcher.
And it will be Chuck James making his first appearance since 2008.
Now the Angels threatening to take this series 2-1. And we'll get our first look up here at left-hander Chuck James.
Well, those are his numbers right there when he was with the Braves from 2005 to 2008. Then had shoulder surgery. And this is his first major league game since August 6th of 2008 when he was a member with the Braves. And he made his final major league debut at that time in San Francisco. 55 starts for James with the Braves in 64 major league appearances. James 29 years old.
And you'll have to keep an eye on Borges at first. Sometimes teams like to run on the very first pitch after a pitching change, and that's what the Angels were doing. And Borges with his speed, they're going to call a balk on James. And that will advance Borges to second. Second base umpire Mike DeMuro made the call, and I think what he claimed was that James stepped more toward home plate than first base. But the Angels, sure enough, were taking Borges to second base in the first pitch.
I don't know what he did right there. He kind of put that foot down. I guess maybe he didn't step toward first.
Yeah,
How about that? You wait 3 years and the first pitcher about to throw you to call a balk.
Ball one. So 1-0 to Ibar, and Borges and his speed are at second base. Boy, there's no question that there's been a shift in baseball toward speed. Twins lost a game in Kansas City with Gerard Dyson simply in his ability to run. They sent him down shortly after that because he can't play baseball up here yet, but he's a great runner. Foul back. Borges has affected this series so much with his speed. Now the double he got yesterday, I mean, that was, he broke up a no-hitter. But his speed in getting to Thomey's ball in the gap in Friday night, the infield hit that started the turnaround here on Friday night when the Twins had a 5-0 lead. Behind first. And a foul ball catch for Morneau, the third out. But the inning starts with Mark Trumbo hitting a home run against Jim Hoey.
That's at Eric Ibar again. He hit that 3-run home run here on Friday night to cap off a 6-5 victory over the Twins. And here this afternoon, 3 hits in a ball game. He's knocked in 3 again. Bernard Span for the Twins, a couple doubles, a run scored. And again, they don't get much offense out of Jeff Mathis, but he did here this afternoon. A couple singles, stole a base, scored a couple runs.
And Jordan Walden, the fire-throwing right-hander for the Angels, comes in to try to save it.
Well, Walden coming in, making his 26th relief appearance. He got the save here on Friday night in the 6-5 win. Yeah, this guy throws hard, but we also saw very nasty sliders from him, too.
And again, not to draw unfair comparisons, but we were talking about Hoey, and he doesn't have a complementary second pitch developed yet. Well, this guy looks like he does. He throws harder than Hoey or just about anybody else in the league right now. And a wicked, late-breaking, sharp slider. 1 strike to the pinch hitter, Matt Tolbert. 1-1. It'll be Tolbert, Plouffe, Span, and then all bets are off. That Jim Thome isn't used here probably doesn't mean he isn't necessarily available, although we don't think that he will be used.
Well, Twins need some base runners to find out.
Right. That's what I'm saying. In this instance, hitting Thome here, even if he hit a home run, wouldn't do you any good because you're still down a couple. And now Walden falls behind 3-1. So the Twins would love to put a couple of men on board for Casillas' spot, 4th this inning, and then we'll find out for sure whether Thome's available. And that's a walk that puts Tolbert aboard. Trevor Plouffe walked starting the 7th and scored, but in the field a day to forget.
Yeah, the 3rd inning was a tough inning for Trevor Plouffe. You can see him airmail this goal right here. That on Bobby Abreu, and then later in the inning came in and threw the ball up the line. Excuse me, that The first one was not an error. That one was an error on Bobby Abreu in the third inning.
That was ruled a base hit, that last fielding play, but well, we'll see if he can atone for some defensive lapses with this ninth inning at bat. One strike. Plouffe bounced to short, tried to bunt his way aboard and failed in the fifth, and then drew a 4-pitch walk leading off the seventh and eventually scored the third Twins run. Fly to right. And Hunter was playing back by the warning track, has to make a long running catch. Well, Torrey moved out of center field in part to save his legs a little bit, and he had to use them there.
Yeah, they're kind of playing deep right there, and that ball kind of sliced away. Torrey Hunter had to go a long way for that, but made the first out catch.
Way down the road, but next year is Hunter's last year of his deal with the Angels, and he said all along he'd like to finish his career with the Twins, so we'll have to wait and see what happens in a couple of years. Obviously, he's let himself go physically. You know, he's so overweight. He's got the same physique he had as a rookie.
Yep. Takes a lot of pride in his playing ability.
1-0 to Span. Tolbert goes, and the throw coming through, but not in time. So the Twins down by 3 runs. Take a bit of a risk, but Tolbert steals second.
Yeah, you better make sure you get there right there. And Tolbert able to get there. You see him, nobody holding him on, so he does go, but a good throw by Mathis. But Tolbert steals a base.
1-1 to Span. And again, the key here is for Span to get aboard. Not to suggest for a moment that Thome available, but if he could get aboard and the tying run comes to the plate, if there is ever a chance, and I think that probably says it right there, he's sitting down without a bat in his hand, and if there was a chance he's going to pinch hit, he'd at least have a bat in his hand. Two and one. Boy, he almost did it a third time.
Tried it again. Why not?
He's hit 2 doubles on that same swing just inside the third base line, and he nearly did it a third time.
This time, Kai Aspel saying, okay, I'll just play the line. And that's where he's standing right now. Now he just moves away.
But again, that ball, the contact is actually made, it appears, in foul territory behind the angle of the plate. 2-2. Tolbert at second. The run the Angels got in the top of the ninth really important here with him aboard. Twins still need another base runner to get the tying run to the plate. The walk to Tolbert, the 12th in 24 and a third inning. So obviously Walden has some control issues to overcome. And he's run the count full to Span. "14 pitches, 7 balls, 7 strikes."
Yeah, I talked to Mike Butcher yesterday about Walden, just 23 years old, given that closer role. Fernando Rodney lost it. He likes his makeup, though. He likes Walden's makeup, the way that he comes right back at maybe a tough outing.
To left center field, and that's down for a hit. Colbert's going to score, and Span with a long at bat gets the payoff at the end with an RBI single.
Now Span picking up his 3rd hit of the ball game, driving in his 12th run. Got a fastball and hit it sharply in the left center. Tolbert, who stole the base to get to second base, read it and took off and scored.
So now the Twins do get the tying run to the plate, and Jim Thome officially is unavailable. Matt Tolbert's in the game. The bench players left are Rene Rivera and Jason Repko. So you'd like to, of course, have a pinch hitter who could, with one swing, tie it up. And Rivera, of course, already used because Butera has been pinch hit for. So now you're hoping for Casilla to just keep the line moving and get Kubel to the plate with 1 or 2 men aboard.
Casilla's been one of the Twins' hottest hitters. 2 hits here today. An infield base hit in the 3rd and a bunt single in the 5th. And Callaspo at 3rd base in on the grass. Take the bunt away from him.
Casilla takes outside, and now it's a 2-run game. And with Span aboard, Trumbo's holding him on. They didn't hold Tolbert on after his leadoff walk. And the ensuing stolen base led to a Twins run. Inside 2-0. So you look at a guy's numbers you're seeing for the first time and you go, well, how can we beat this guy? Hasn't given up a home run. 20 hits, 24 in the 3rd innings. You look at the walks, and it's become a big factor here in the 9th inning. The leadoff walk, running the count full to Span, and now it's 3-0 to Casilla.
He came into the ballgame 11 walks in 25 innings pitched.
$3-0 to Casilla, who should be taking here. .96, and on the outside corner, it's 3-1.
He's got to come back with the same pitch. Let's see if he'll miss this time.
Missed badly. And we mentioned it last year. The Angel bullpen, so reliable in their successful years. They walked more batters than any other team in the American League last year. And they've had problems again this year with the guys typically assigned the 8th and 9th innings. Fernando Rodney and this guy. And here's Jason Kubel.
Oh, Twins have the right guys coming up right here with 1 out. Jason Kubel, and on deck, Justin Morneau.
Inside, ball 1. Valencia's walk-off single in the 10th, his and the team's 2nd this year. But they've both been game-winning hits in a tie game. Twins have not turned a loss into a win at home this year. 1-1.
Boy, threw the slider. He's missing with the fastball. So he threw Kubel the slider right there, and Kubel swung through it.
Fastball burns the outside corner. 1-2. 2 hits for Jason, both singles.
Yeah, 97 miles an hour.
Did he check his swing? Yes, he did. And it's 2-2. And a nice block by Mathis. If that ball gets too far away from him and the runners move up, Twins can tie it with a single.
You know, Mathis, a catcher, he'll drop right to his knees, utilize that chest protector, and Kubel held up, dead in the ball.
2-2 to Jason Kubel. Fastball tailing away from him at 99 miles per hour. 2 down. And here is Morneau. He's hit the ball hard 3 times today.
RBI single in the 3rd inning. A base hit in the 6th inning.
double play his last time up. Strike one. Justin's biggest challenge in the first 2 months has been turning around good major league fastballs, and he'll be facing a good one here. And a pretty nasty slider too. And it's 0-2 very quickly. Had a game like this in Arizona. They had the right guys at the plate in the 9th inning, and Kubel and Morneau both struck out. '99, a crisp 99 miles per hour.
They just getting loose.
One and two. Drilled foul. Threw a slider, and Justin got around on that.
Yeah, watch out, Jerry White.
And of course, these things all come into play. I'm sure the word has gotten around baseball that Justin's having a hard time with a good high fastball. So I'm not sure why they would ever throw him a slider like the one they just threw him.
Well, because of his swing at the slider, the previous slider that he swung through.
1-2 to Morneau.
There's that fastball away, and you saw Justin, you know, his swing right there, almost a defensive type swing.
And now 2-2, and another nice block by Mathis.
Now this is a big pitch right here because you don't want to go 3-2. Good speed on the bases for the Twins with Span and Casilla.
See if they go upstairs with a high fastball. Justin's been vulnerable to that pitch. 100 miles per hour, and he flips it foul.
But another defensive type swing for Justin. Just try to keep this bat going. Maybe he'll, you know, leave a pitch over the plate. Look at that ball right there. Ball tailing away.
Two and two.
Defense playing very deeply. No extra base hits over their head.
Up the middle and through for a hit. Span will score. Casilla to third. And the Twins have the tying run 90 feet away. Not the prettiest base hit Justin's ever gotten, but it'll work.
Jason Repko will run for Justin Morneau. The slider just out of the reach of Walden in the center field. So Span scores for the second time in a ball game. Casilla scoots over to third, and Morneau gets an RBI single.
So the Twins with two in the bottom of the ninth as they try to turn a loss into a win. Repko at first and Casilla at third. Cuddyer at the plate. 0 for 4. Casilla bluffed down the line at third, and Walden looked at Repko at first. Twins aren't going to steal Repko anyway, I don't think, but here they're really benefited by having that runner at first and having the first baseman to hold on to him. It really opens up, I would think, the right side of the infield. And a strike at 99.
Now Walden's thrown a lot of pitches, 35 pitches so far this inning.
One and one to Cuddyer. And Thome just a spectator today. Two and one. Rally caps are on. 2 and 1 to Cuddyer. A high drive to left center field, but it's hit at Borges to end the game. Cuddyer got pretty good wood on it, but it almost sailed or sliced back to the center fielder, and the Twins lose another 3-game series.
And another one-run game, Dick.
Yep, 23 of the first 49 games, Kevin Gorg, have been decided by 1 run.
Yeah, really entertaining game, a very entertaining series, but the Angels take it 2-1. Stay with us after the game for Quest Twins Live, which includes the Toyota post-game wrap. We'll hear from Ron Gardenhire. We'll talk about some costly air.